driving through the night trying to keep my eyes open. The generator's busted and the AC's broken. I'm talking to the Lord, hope He helps us get there safe. And we made it to the show, now we're singing to the crowd. We're playing encore and they're screaming real loud. Try to get home early, but I know that ain't the case. Yeah, it's another hotel room, sleeping on the floor. I'm hurting in the morning from the night before. Pay my dues, I'm eating up the road. I'm coming home, baby, leave the porch light on. Breakfast in the morning from 7 to 9, but we just can't seem to wake up in time. Grab a cup of coffee and we're off to hit the road. Now we're running on fumes, no time to kill. We got one more show and it's a shitty doorbell. Breaking my back just to make a couple more. Yeah, it's another hotel room, sleeping on the floor. I'm hurting in the morning from the night before. Pay my dues, I'm eating up the road. I'm coming home, baby, leave the porch light on. Yeah, it's another hotel room, sleeping on the floor. I'm hurting in the morning from the night before. Pay my dues, I'm eating up the road. I'm coming home, baby, leave the porch light on. Yeah, it's another hotel room, sleeping on the floor. I'm hurting in the morning from the night before. Pay my dues, I'm eating up the road. I'm coming home, baby, leave the porch light on.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Yeah.
Turn on your mind now, tune into the feed. We're planting digital flowers from a single tiny seed. Yeah, power to the collective in the data and the soul. The hive mind's getting louder, finding voice and control.
And here we go.
Welcome to the freak show, the best in town.
What is going on, Hive? I hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend, or had one, rather. Got the audio coming in loud and clear, I think. Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good. And I got a lot of slides lined up this evening for everybody, because we are going to be switching emails this evening officially, because I have some mods that are incredible. Shout out to UFO Dog, Luna Bliss, Discord Dawn, when it comes to kind of this aspect of the email. Obviously, I got Dana, I got Robin, I got Amanda B, I got back. I got so many people in here, and if I did happen to forget you, I'm so sorry. I just want to say again, we got the best mods on all of YouTube, on the internet at this point. They rock. And we have a lot to go through this evening. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say what's up to everybody before I start ranting and raving right away about some, I guess, recent updates in this case. What's up, Fiji and Luna, Tiptoe, Redman, Porchlight Confessions. It's good timing with the song that we used this evening for the intro. What's up, LA Mike, Oceans Blue, Rochelle, Ariano, Steph, K Wolf, Karen Bell from the UK, Germelia, Scout, Gang Crown, Thumper, Rabbit Hole, Baby Ames, Tiptoe, Sweet Pea B, Bat Sheet, Crazy Growth Renewal. UFO Dog says the mods with the bods. What's up, Salted Blonde and Molly Bledsoe? What's up, Real Nikki Marie? Birdie, my new fave. Love that. Thank you for tuning in. Ample Spark. Marty, Lisa, River Bear Teacup, Angela, Lynette, formerly known as Beck. Why did you ever change that, Beck? Do we know? What's up, Carrie? Linda. Avi, got back to your email today. Thank you again so much. Chevy Metal, what up? Reasonable Doubter, Cryptic Conversions. Michael, Nick, Cats Mojo, good to see you. Tracy, Donna, the Real Terry Weed, Secret Soul Survivor, Sleuther Dare, Beauty for Ashes. Kyler, Haley, this is your first live. Well, top dog to you, Haley, for tuning in. This is your first live. Is this anybody else's first live? By chance, type a 1 if it is. It's a good time for my disclaimer that we give here in the Hive, which is if this is your first time tuning into the Hive, I'm your host, Birdie. I go live every weeknight at 7 p.m. Central, including Sunday evenings. This is a contrarian thinking live stream. So if you're easily rattled or if you're offended on behalf of others, you're not going to like me. You're not going to like the people in the chat. You're certainly not going to like what we discuss on stream. However, if you like to think past the headlines, question the narrative, maybe you're known as the tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist in your friend group, you have found your people, you are amongst friends. There's really no rules in the chat. That's the beauty of the Hive. The only way that you're going to get put into a timeout is if you're trolling or you're spamming, you're threatening. Other than that, we encourage conversation and discussion, which I know both of those two words being conversation and discussion are some big words for some of the fluoridated idiots out there, but not for us here in the Hive. We like to go back and forth, and we don't have to just start yelling and typing buzzwords when we disagree with somebody. So at the end of the day, we don't know what happened in this Idaho 4 case. It could relate to a lot of other 40,000 foot view topics that everybody is more and more awakening to. All right. Lynette says this channel tells the truth and some people can't handle the truth. That's right. Thank you so much, Taylor, for the super chat. Only rule, no Olipop recommendations. Yeah, I might have failed on that one, and I'm sorry about that. I'll never give another Olipop recommendation again. Thank you for the super chat. And anybody that does do a super chat that is $4.99 or more, that'll pop up right here, and I address those right away. What's up, Mitty Witty? Appreciate that back. One of the OG TikTok hivers. Taylor says I'm never letting the Olipop thing go. Cryptic Conversions says this channel challenges people to face reality. Amen to that. There's also, in addition to the super chats, my mods will occasionally drop a tip link. They're the same. Super chats and tips are the ones that pop up here for whatever other reason. The animations don't work for the other things. How's that volume now? Is that better, Luna? Thank you so much. Thank you, Catherine Bird, for the super chat. My volume was mildly low. I hope that that's better. Sorry about that. All right, perfect on the volume. Nice. Much better. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes I'm messing around with the dial, you know, when I'm not streaming for my headphones. So I appreciate that. All right. Well, let's get into it, shall we? Now, yesterday, Lana went live in the evening. There's some new body cam footage out, and I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Ashley Jennings is at the crime scene at 5 p.m., November 13th, 2022. Now, what are your guys' initial thoughts on that? I don't know if everybody tuned into Lana's stream and saw it. There was a lot of people in there. There were thousands of people watching that body cam when I was in there. But I believe that it is effing impossible that Ashley Jennings shows up 5 hours later for what the public is told is just an unconscious person. Okay? So right from the jump, the time of it only taking 5 hours before Ashley Jennings is on scene, right next to Brett Payne, who's not wearing a body cam, by the way, amongst others, and we'll get into those names this evening. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Shelly said she wanted to see how all her plea deals went awry. Allie said that's so odd. Thumper saw it. Shoe Girl was like, WTF is my thought about that. Nomadic Duckman, top dog to you, says Ashley came straight from happy hour to the crime scene. Grammy Tammy says it's amazing. Good to see you, Grammy T. Mitchell says possible Nancy Grace may have been there before. That is not a normal thing. Again, we have to kind of balance out this aspect of, all right, well, we were told this is a 911 call for an unconscious person. There was an 8-hour delay. That wouldn't get Ashley Jennings' attention. Now, when you find out it's 4 people, possibly. But we are going to be going down this rabbit hole so damn deep this evening. I hope everybody has their tinfoil hats ready, because I agree with Christina here. That was so weird. Okay, you guys are funny. Trey said Ashley went to McDonald's after the scene. Terry agrees that's weird. Oh, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Nikki. I do have Lana's. I do have a little clip of Lana's stream prepared. You do hear a dog barking. Murphy's no longer at the scene. The bark sounds pretty damn similar, too. Okay. I should have titled this video, Idaho 4 is no longer a conspiracy. It's not. We should be able to tell what happened by now. The only thing is that, like, everything that exists in this case that we should have access to, it just takes time. So it all exists to where this won't be a conspiracy. Therefore, if it exists, and once we see it, it won't be a conspiracy, it is no longer a conspiracy. I hope that makes sense. You got Ashley Jennings at 1122 King Road, November 13th, 2022, at 5 p.m. with Brett Payne, who wrote the PCA, not wearing a body cam. This is guys, this is no longer incompetence. That's why I have this thumbnail saying effing impossible. You can't be this dumb, this inadequate at your job, unable to perform your duties, that you just continue to stumble into all of these coincidences that line up perfectly and get tied into a bow by the media. Okay? That's what I'm here to do tonight. I'm here to let people know this is no longer a bunch of coincidences lining up. This is no longer a bunch of internet sleuths digging into everything and anything and trying to connect random dots. Step back. Look at Ashley Jennings there. Brett Payne's PCA doesn't, I got to calm down. Reasonable Doubter says, wouldn't DAs come to crime scene after an arrest is made and case is assigned to them first night before the scene is processed, though? Bizarre. Exactly. They didn't have... Do you guys realize they didn't have a press conference for 4 days, and you hear Sergeant Blaker, prior to ever talking to Dylan, according to the interview statements and the documents, saying exactly what happened, saying that Dylan has a better timeline than Bethany. Ashley Jennings is there, all before a press conference happens to the public, where they then go and tell people, this is a targeted attack. You shouldn't be worried. And then they retreat. And then you have Steve G and Christy go on Fox News and they say, why don't we use some family lineage company? And they lay out exactly what's going to happen to make an arrest, which ends up being Brian Koberger. And typically, somebody like Ashley Jennings would not be involved until an arrest is made. So within 5 hours, again, for a 911 call that was made 8 hours later, take that out of it, it's for an unconscious person. What this tells me, whoever called Ashley Jennings on a Sunday off of the clock, whatever Ashley was doing was nowhere near as important as this. An alleged unconscious person that ends up being a quadruple homicide who comes back to Brian Koberger, a nobody, a loner, the lone wolf narrative with the media machine breathing down his neck to this day. If you were Ashley, let's say you were out to lunch with your husband, your family, maybe you're at brunch with your girlfriends, how pissed would you be? You don't ever get called in before an arrest. So here's the deal, Hive. We have to shift our mentality going into this week. Okay. I hope that I can say this how I was hoping it would sound prior to the stream as I was preparing for tonight. We have to shift our mentality to now, rather than expose plausible deniability, reasonable doubt, those type of things, we now have to wake people up to giant smoke screens where the public is told something that is so far off of what happened, where officials know behind the scenes what really did happen. There's real challenges in that for our society. There are real problems created for the public when that happens. We do need to be on offense now. I agree, LA Mike. Brian Koberger, the ghost. Emily, the prosecutor. She hand-delivered the sheath. And the cover-up began. So, before I go any further, Ashley Jennings is the clown of the evening. And with that being said, we have a lot of stuff to go over tonight, but before we do, everybody, right now we got 700 people in here between X and YouTube. Go ahead, just tap that like button. All right. You guys have been crushing that the last few nights. I really appreciate that. The initial, pop of likes is what gets this out there for live streams. So anybody that has not hit the like button, please do. Sorry, I'm just messing around on my phone right now to get the live chat actually pulled up. There we go. We got 330 likes. We're at 50%. Okay, just while I explain a couple of housekeeping items right now, you're not going to miss anything. Just literally take your thumb if you're on your phone, scroll down, go out of the chat, tap the like button, hit subscribe if you are not. And I want to give a shout out to Luna Bliss, Discord Dawn, and the UFO Dog. This is going to help not only myself out so much, this is going to help out everybody in the Hive. Now, a couple months ago, my Gmail and my PayPal got hacked. I've kept Birdie Bombshell going just because of logins and other stuff that it was needed. However, guys, this entire weekend, I was going through emails. I tried to get back to every single email that I could. I don't know if anybody's in here that got an email back. If you've checked, type of 1 if you did, because I wanted to go through all of them before I turn this on. So Birdie's Hive Mind at gmail.com is going to be the place to try to get into contact with me. If you're not in the Discord, it's where you can send Hive Mind finds, because I saw a ton of comments from people that said they don't want to do Discord. They don't understand Discord. And ever since that hack happened, I didn't give my original email I was giving out all that much love and attention that it should have. So shout out to these 3 mods here. They are unbelievable for helping me get this up and running. So Birdie's Hive Mind at gmail.com. If you did not get a response to a Hive Mind find in the past, please feel free to resend it to that. I will be on that email as well, but it just gives you everybody the best chance of feeling like they're heard. There's a lot of people that have good stuff out there. And HPA or HP Accuracy, thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate you. Has everybody got that? I'm going to put it full screen. Go ahead, screenshot that if you need to. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. JP Swanson, thank you for the super sticker. You guys rock. As you know, all the streams are free. I'll never put anything behind a paywall. I don't plan to, at least. All of these 7 p.m. streams are going to always stay free. Now, As Gang Gang says, the last thing that you guys can do, shout out to Crowned, one of the OG TikTok hivers, just hit that damn like button. Don't make me say the bad joke about leaving more DNA on the like button than Brian Koberger left on the sheath. I mean, this entire time since I started this, there's only been about 100 people that have hit it. So takes no time and it costs nothing. Nonetheless, I'm done begging for those. I don't want to feel like I'm begging, but I wanted to make sure this email announcement is loud and clear. What I'm going to do because of this new email going live, I went through and there's somebody who was sending me Hive Mind finds. I got a lot of emails from them, but I actually had time today and yesterday to go through a lot of them. So the first one I personally have been wondering about for a very, very long time. And I agree, Steph, the mods, they're the best in the game. Shout out to them. Yep. So just again, real quick, birdieshivemind@gmail.com is going to be the new email moving forward. birdiebombshell00@gmail.com will no longer be what you send anything to. So birdieshivemind@gmail.com. I'll continue to plug this. Now, I had about 375 emails today to get through still. And I got through about 199 of them sending people stuff. So I did my best. With that being said, do you want to know what I found out in this? My second favorite username, UK Cheese Farmers Side Piece, sent me the reason that their name is that. The reason for the name UK Cheese Farmers Side Piece is because their partner grew UK cheese and he was so dedicated. I was the side piece to the grow. And I think that is epic. And thank you so much, Beth, for the super chat. Beth says, thank you. I couldn't do Discord. I started seeing that enough times in general. I think the mods probably saw that too. So they took that on themselves to do that. And I really appreciate it. I agree, Kelly. Kelly says that's funny because BK didn't leave any DNA. I know. All right. Now on to the serious Hive Mind finds. All right. The next handful of slides comes from Simone. Simon. I think it's Simone. When I tell you, and thank you, Kelly, for the super chat saying, I respect the Hive. Love that. Love that. Germilia says, Bag of Richards is still my number one. My number one isn't even an actual username. It's just a nickname that somebody had. Mike, welcome to the Hive. Thank you for subscribing. Same thing with subscribers. If you guys subscribe, it'll pop up. Does anybody know what my number one nickname is that we talked about in the past? Fiji says, I love batshit crazy. Tigo Biddies is up there too, but UFO Dog got it. Mouth of the South. Honestly, there's so many good ones, but I'm also aware there's probably people that are in here that are like, holy hell, Birdie, I don't give a shit about that. I don't care about pressing the like button. Just tell me about the Idaho 4. So that's what I'm going to do. Shout out to Simone. Simone gets, this will be the last top dog that I give out for this entire stream. Okay? Because Simone took them all. She literally took them all. And I'm going to put this away because I kind of feel bad that I missed these Okay. But it was just the volume of emails coming in I couldn't keep up with. And I hope that they're in here right now. Guys, this is the clearest picture, hands down, of what anybody has ever sent me from the Banfield body camera of a person sitting in the bushes I've yet to see. I have been sent so much stuff. Okay. I'm putting this out there because I've never seen this clear of a picture. This looks like two shoes and a person sitting on their ass in a black hoodie with a beanie on. And if people have sent me this, I apologize, but this is, I also am legally colorblind. Okay. For whatever reason, these photos from Simone jumped off the screen to me. We also showed how odd it is that the police officers look like they're up to the knee or the hip bone of some of these kids. So there's clear manipulation. I mean, look at this, guys. Has anybody ever seen a picture that clear? I've seen so much. I've seen so many people that are like, dude, the Banfield body cam, they're concealing stuff. Again, I don't know if it's the way that my eyes see stuff, like when I go to the eye doctor and I look at those dots to see if I can see numbers. I don't see shit. Okay, but I can see this. I could see this. And what really jumped out to me are the two shoes at the bottom. Yeah, I agree, Doc Terry. This is the best by far. Yes, I know Rolo's been saying this. So, like, I just want to make it known. This is not new, but I'm saying I've shown this type of stuff before, and I'm pretty sure when it's been on the stream, my wording would be something like, I can't see this, but there are a lot of people that send me this. However, this time I could see it clear as day. The hood, the backpack. Yeah, it is excellent. Sherlock says, yes, I have a whole video where I use the AI photo analyzer, lots of cosplay costumes and masks that night. Wade today, thank you. I appreciate kind of the validation of my own vision capabilities where Wade's like, yes, I usually can't see anything. Type of 1, if you're familiar with the Banfield, you typically can't, but this one really does show it. Type of 1, just so I can kind of get an understanding that you may have heard of it, but this blew my mind. Yeah, look at that. Look at the chat right now. Now, just because I wanted to make sure for my own colorblind vision discrepancies, I did do an additional slide with a filter on it. And guys, come on. Look at that. That's the original. This is the filter. I mean, that is 100% somebody sitting on their butt, knees up, kind of buried in their chest, elbows on their thighs, white shoes on. You can absolutely see the shoes, the knee, the back, all the way up to the head. I mean, this is crazy. And if anybody's wondering, the filter that's applied is via Canva, and it's rustic in combination with antique. That's it. Okay. I didn't adjust anything else. I clicked rustic and I clicked antique. Somebody said pain. Trey says it looks too small. I agree. So Trey, thank you for saying that, because while yes, it does look small. That's what she said. I don't know why I had to say that out loud. I feel like Michael Scott right there. Sorry about that. It's a day early. DA's not on the stream yet, but let me go back to this video that I did. Right here. This is weird. My guy over here to the right shrunk down to the size of an elf.
Wait, you're lying to us and not.
This is weird. My guy over here to the right shrunk down to the size of an elf. I mean, guys, look at this. How is that even possible? Like, there's Brett Payne short. That's like, that's manipulated. Okay. It's the same. I mean, so what's going on here? There's clearly something that's happening, because that doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's Wizard of Oz short. I agree. Yeah, those three guys are huge. I mean, think about this. Their mid back is at the height of every car. This guy's, you're telling me that this dude's not the height of a little station wagon spoiler on the back? So, I don't know what that is. Yeah, good point, Gamelia, too, saying like people will clock girls for photoshopping their waists and butts all day. The curb was morphed. Like, the yellow curb was morphed. Oops. Now I'll just go ahead a little bit to where we actually get into all this. I can play the clip here. I'll just play the clip from this live to catch everybody up. All right. I'm just curious, does anybody think that if similar like how we watched weird my guy 22 King Road that night? I don't know if it would seem sketchy. This is weird. My guy over here to the right shrunk down to the size of an elf. Can somebody tell me how this guy, is this just pure camera manipulation right now, everybody? Can somebody tell me how this dude shrunk? This is ridiculous. I mean, look at that. That's insane. What camera effect would cause that to happen? I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. People are missing this. So now we go back to this, and it's like, yeah, and that was on Law and Crime Channel too. All right. But it's like we go back to this, and it's like, holy hell. That person sitting down looks like very similar in what do you want to call it? Like portion size? Portion size to that. So I'm not sure what to make of it. It's a leprechaun. I hope that there's people in here that understand what I say next when it's like, oh, y'all seen the leprechaun? Say, yeah. Has anybody ever seen that video from Alabama? It was like a high school core memory yelling that out. But shout out to Simone for that. And I don't know who it is. I don't know what it is. To me, it looks like a male. People say it's a dog. I don't know. After seeing the short person in the other body cam footage, like manipulated. And nobody's seen the leprechaun video. Okay. Moving on. All of these slides are from Simone, the next three. That's why I said I'm not giving out other top dogs. So we've all seen, all right, we've all seen this tip. All right. We've seen this document. I'm going to read what's highlighted in yellow out loud for everybody. This was deemed not credible. The reason why I'm doing this is we had a caller for the Hive Mind Roundtable, Bourbon Santa. It's not that there aren't people aware of this theory. I know Pavarotti has talked about it. We've talked about it. A handful of others have talked about it. There's threads on Reddit about it. But there was also a lot of people that are like, wait, hang on. What car accident? Why did somebody go to the hospital? What are you talking about? The FBI got involved because injuries didn't match, you know, and it could have been, or injuries didn't match a car accident, and it could have been in relation to the Idaho 4. Well, this is a report that comes from allegedly Farley. Okay, but I'm going to read the highlighted part. Actually, I'll read the whole thing. Blank is an Idaho State Correctional Institution inmate and was interviewed by Federal Bureau of Investigation Special Agent Ryan O'Neill. Blank made numerous claims during the interview about the circumstances surrounding the murders and who was involved. Now it's alleged that this is Farley. He stated the house where the murders took place was a location where he provided, quote, security to individuals who delivered unknown items to the house. He stated he did not know what they were delivering, but understood that what they were doing was illegal. Farley allegedly referenced several individuals by nicknames, but did not know any full legal names. His main associates were blank and blank. It goes on to say, and this is the important part, on one of their trips, blank stated they were leaving Lewiston and heading for Moscow when a car crash happened in front of them. He stated the driver was ejected through the front windshield, but survived. He stated he stopped at the crash and waited for police to arrive, spoke to them briefly, and then continued to Moscow. He stated this happened at 3 a.m, exactly 30 days before the murders. The murders occurred on November 13th of 2022, which by his statement would mean the accident occurred on October 13th of 2022. I searched the Idaho State Police District 2 calls from this date, and I did not locate any crashes that matched his description. I then contacted the Nez Perce County Sheriff's Department and requested they check to see if Sheriff's Department or Lewiston Police Department, LPD, responded to any crashes on this date which matched his description. They could find no records of the Sheriff's Department for LPD responding to a crash matching the description. I requested they expand the search to October 12th through the 14th of 2022 and did still not find any matches. Blank stated he was later punished by blank for stopping at the scene of the crash. He stated that blank broke both of his feet. Now, this is alleged to be Nicholas Mowich. He stated he was in jail from October 28th, 2022 through December 9th, 2022 in both Spokane County and Kootenai County, so on and so forth. Okay. At the end of the day, this was deemed not credible. Here is something that is confusing to me. This is an article. It's still up to this day on the Idaho State Police's website. Here's a police news release. District 1, Patrol 615, West Wilbur Avenue, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Phone number, fax number. Here's what's interesting. This talks about District 2. This says District 1. Now, this article, like I said, you can, there's the link. It exists. Okay. So for the sake of the stream, I just screenshotted it. but this is as of like 4 hours ago. Okay. This says District 1. This says District 2. For immediate release, what date is that? For immediate release, August 13th of 2022 at 4:10 a.m. But then it says on October 14th of 2022 at approximately 3:51 a.m. So Farley probably didn't account for the fact that there was 31 days in October. That's why he said 30 days. But it still doesn't explain why expanding the search wouldn't find it. But this says August 13th. So my question is this: is it dated wrong on accident? How do you forget? Like, how does this happen? So I'll go on to read this. It says, and this is to corroborate this tip that's deemed not credible. On October 14th at approximately 3:51 a.m., Idaho State Police responded to a two-vehicle head-on collision northbound on US 95 near milepost 314, Nez Perce County, Idaho. A black 2013 Chevy Impala was traveling northbound on US 95, 314. A yellow 2001 Ford Escape was traveling southbound in the northbound lanes on US 95 near milepost 314. The Chevy attempted to avoid a collision but was unable to do so. The Ford struck the Chevy head-on. Both drivers were transported by ground ambulance with injuries to a local hospital. The driver of the Ford was not wearing a seatbelt. The driver of the Chevy was wearing a seatbelt. The cause of the crash is under investigation by the ISP. ISP would like to thank Nez Perce County Sheriff's Office, Lewiston Police Department, and Lewiston Fire Department for their assistance on the scene. Go back to this. The driver was ejected through the front windshield. The driver of the Ford was not wearing a seatbelt in a head-on collision. October 14th, and it still didn't come up. Make that make sense. But then you look up here, and it says August 13th. Thank you. I am Lux. Damn it. This is a shout out to you. I said I wasn't going to give another top dog out, but that's what I was thinking exactly. The date in the district was changed to lose this document because it would corroborate what Farley said, what Mowich potentially was or was not involved in. And guys, there's 59 sources for this crash. 59 sources. We got this one. October 14th, 2022, head-on collision near milepost 314. Milepost 314. Same county. Two-vehicle crash, 3:51 a.m. 2001 Ford. 3:51. Ford. Head-on collision. Oh, Chevy Impala. Both drivers were injured and transferred to a local hospital by ambulance. The driver of the Ford was not wearing a seatbelt. And the driver was ejected through the front windshield. So Rafael Penguin, I love this comment. I genuinely I'm being very nice when I say this. Okay. There's zero chance that it's dated wrong. Insurance will need the correct information. It has to be accurate. Guys, that is in the confines of like the matrix of what normal civilians have to play within. And in general, I'm glad you said this, because that's one of the biggest things that people have to get through their head. Yeah, you and me and everybody in here, they need accurate information. Guys, when you're playing with the feds, when you're playing with national security, they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. So I'm saying that out of respect and nicely. That's like, it's understandable why people think that way, but it's so far from being accurate in anything. That's like saying, well, why did they get away with it? Why did OJ get away with murder? Why did this person get away with murder? What did this person get away with that? It's like, there's different rules. Thank you, Cat's Mojo. Where did that go? This is how Farley contacted his FBI handler, if he was an informant, through this statement about the accident. Partial truth. But again, this is concerning. My guess is this. The reason why the immediate release date at a different time is changed and nothing in the report is because I bet that this is filled out on like a jot form or some sort of software where the program goes off of immediate release time and date when searched to find initial documents. So if they change this, you know what I mean? And Sherlock, I know you're in here. I was about to say 4:10 a.m. to 3:51. If that would have ended up being the 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 26-second delta, I would have literally shit a golden chicken. But it's not. All right. So, nonetheless, I will keep going. Here's an article that also confirms this. And then this is the location that they're saying this happened. So I zoomed in here. Okay. So yeah, Lewiston and Clarkston here. This is just zoomed in so you can see it clearly. Here's the coordinates. Moscow's up here. This location is on the stretch of US 95 known as Lewiston Hill, directly behind Lewiston and Moscow. No other crashes matching your description, specifically in that area and the month, were found in the records. If this isn't the one you're thinking of, or you have more details, date, please provide them for further checks. Both drivers are injured and transported to a hospital via ambulance. The highway was blocked for an extended period of time. You have a Ford Escape, Chevy Impala, Ford Escape, Chevy Impala, 3:51 a.m., 3:51 a.m., October 14th, November 13th. I would guess why he said exactly 30 days before is he didn't account for October having 31 days. Yeah, and so Miss Bit Comfort Zone, for people that are bringing up Pop. Guys, first of all, Jesus H, do you think that everybody in the world watches other creators and all that? Like, I'm aware. I just said that too. I said there's people like Pav that have talked about this, who's talked about Mowich, who's talked about, we had callers talk about it being Bourbon Santa. I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty damn tired of people not understanding what actually happened in the Idaho 4, that I could give no less of a fuck about who said this first. And I don't think Pav would care. I wouldn't care. Anybody that's really about this wouldn't care unless they have other intentions. Maybe that's going to start to become more prominent. Who cares who said it first? Give me a break. I don't give a damn. They did great. He did a great job. He did a great job finding this. So therefore, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, again, this is because the amount of comments of people that are finally waking up to the Idaho 4 case, or maybe they didn't look into it, had no idea what we were talking about. So therefore, what I'm doing is, rather than leaving everybody confused, I'm just going to really take 10 minutes here and I'm going to say, here's the document. Here's what corroborates it from the ISP that it's legit, like as far as a crash. Here's the coordinates. So it is what it is. Like, what am I supposed to do? Is everybody who's a creator, I hate that word too. It's so stupid. Is everybody who's looking into this, is it off limits? Because somebody else got in front of a camera and said it first? I'm not calling out the person whose comment was on the screen, but I know. I'm aware. It's like, there's other times too when I say, we're going to look through this lens. How many times have we shit all over Dylan for lying and doing this? What if Dylan's a compromised witness where the cops know she's lying, but they're just trying to get her to talk rather than fry her ass because they'd rather get the big fish that she cooperated with? I don't know. And also, if anybody in the Hive, myself included, has ever once come off like we're trying to steal shit, I don't know what to tell you, because I feel like we put people's literal names on screen. I if anything, people get mad when I show their stuff. And I'm like, I don't even show the full clips. I put your username on it. I don't see people doing that with anybody else, really. Very rarely. If you don't want people to put out really good stuff from other creators, I would encourage, and if you're a creator who doesn't want your stuff to be promoted when it's really good, well, just hide it behind a paywall, as a lot of people will do. Not here. That ain't me. Yeah, exactly. Gatekeeping doesn't solve shit. I'm sorry. Between the insurance comment and then that, I started to like black out and just see red. So I'm going to calm down. It's a Sunday night. What does this mean, Paisley's posts? You don't good giving credit. What does that mean? I'm going to bite my tongue for about 5 seconds to see if you correct yourself before I correct that grammar. Thrive Off Grid says, thicken your skin, bud. See now I'm going to see these comments and I'm just going to say stupid shit to them because I'm not even going to defend myself to it. It's not a matter of having thick skin. It's like I deal with you fucking idiots all the time. Everybody here in the Hive deals with these people all the time. Sorry for cussing. It's just like, guys, do you realize the amount of stuff that comes out in this case? And we're arguing who's the person that got in front of a video camera first. So Thrive Off Grid, I don't know if that's towards the Hive or what, but anyways. Oh, she means that I do good. Gotcha. Well, and LA Mike says, just read the positive comments. I don't want to just do that, right? You know, I want to see the disagreement. All right, back on track. So let's get to Lana stuff, all right? Hey, God, let me just make sure I give credit to Lana, Truth and Transparency, who's been on the stream a handful of times, and I've been on theirs. Let's talk about this new body cam footage that they premiered last night. Let me just get it pulled up. I'm not going to show the whole thing. It's a 2-hour live, but I'm going to show the part where Ashley Jennings pulls up on stream, which is just unbelievable. All right, here we go. So I will.
Here they come. Wild.
This is Detective Talbot with Pain. T-A-L-B-O-T-T. And Pain Morrison. T-I-L. T-A-L-B-O-T-T.
Right there. That's Detective Talbot. Nice to meet you.
And then 157-171. And then use it back right now. I think Sarge finishing. Okay, hold on, no worries. And then 17. Or interest 1700. Good.
Okay. Look at this. I died. I literally died. See if you can see what's going on and what these two don't do. So that's Officer Corbin Smith. Now you guys go back to the PCA. Ready? You got the PCA.
What do you guys notice about our boy Payne here? And real quick, if you're on X, come on over to YouTube, Birdie_Hive Mind. I'm going to go ahead. I usually only go live on X and cross stream for the first hour. See you guys soon over here.
In front of you. And the PCA said that Officer Corbin Smith walked Officer Blaker and Officer Payne through the house. Okay. That did not happen. Officer Smith, now watch. Talbot is right in front of us, directly in the middle. Officer Smith's the first one over here to the right, and there's Payne.
Oh, the old and broken. 3 coming in.
These two dudes, Moscow Police Department, Officer Smith, Officer Payne here, literally stood and watched this man put on booties Payne watches CSI Talbot put on booties, and same with Corbin Smith. They watch him. They're waiting. They don't put on any booties. And Talbot doesn't tell them to.
What do we have down there first?
So he came in, figured this out. This is where the two took refuge.
Okay, so Payne didn't have a body cam. Guys, now I'm trying to remember. Yeah, right here. Now here's the next part that I want you guys to see. Then we're going to dive into this.
Now guess who's making her way to the door? None other than the woman of the hour. No gloves, no TAs, no problem. Ashley Jennings, come on down, girl.
Might as well. I'll just yell at Brett.
Let's go back. Let's get a good screenshot of this chick here before they scrub this.
I'll just yell at Brett.
There's our girl. We see ya, Miss Jennings.
No gloves, no problem.
You want a 3, right, Cap?
Yes. Hey, Brett. Yeah. Ashley wants to tag on your first walkthrough. Oh, well. There you go. Okay, you can mark your back out at the same time.
Correct.
Thank you.
Roger Lanier walked her up.
Yes, sir.
How are you guys doing personnel-wise? Well, we got
So what that said is
Yeah, before the coroner. Here's the thing, guys. Okay. Everybody can have an opinion on this. I want people to have an opinion on this. It doesn't make any sense to me, in my opinion. Okay. Like if we were to go line by line and have Ashley Jennings at the crime scene, 5 p.m. November 13th. Okay. So Ashley Jennings is on scene the day of the murders. Josh Hurwitz never really makes public comments about it. Really total silence initially. There's mass redactions, national security language. There's a media blitz. Donald Trump talks about it. Okay. So if by chance they thought it was something else, well, what did they think it was? If it ended up being just Brian Koberger lone wolf narrative, what did they think that it was this entire time? That's what I want to know. Okay. We have a professional, silent, tactical hit. We don't like we can hear stuff on the cameras, right? But do we really hear screams? Do we really like see evidence of a forced entry? You have 2 witnesses that survive. They never call 911. Guys, I'm probably not the only person to think this as of late, especially the last few weeks. I don't think that this was a murder of rage. Like, depending on what lens you look through, I think this is a very surgical hit. Now, you can go down both paths, and we have, but my gut tells me this was a very, very surgical hit. Look at the house. Look at the house. You could say, oh, there's a cleanup. Okay. We're talking about 4 people, and you've seen their autopsies. Cleaning that up in 8 hours is insane. It's insane. There are only a few things, in my opinion, that could have caused this. Yes, exactly. The FBI, Bourbon Santa, top dog. Sorry, Simone. I said you were going to get the last one. I gave out 2. The FBI wouldn't be covering up a lone wolf killer. Lone wolf killer. They invented the lone wolf killer cover-ups. And you guys, prosecutors show up on crime scenes. Yes. They that's not unusual. I see a lot of people talking about that. This quickly, you do realize that according to the documents, Blaker hasn't even talked to Dylan yet officially and is already saying that Dylan's timeline is better than Bethany's. Okay, by the time that the 911 call comes in, call it noon for math's sake. Then they secure the scene. They contact the victims' families. All the other stuff has to happen. Ashley Jennings is there immediately. No, I think it's because that house was already on the radar for something, whether it's a confidential informant, whether there's some other federal case going on, and there's a giant risk because something or someone in that house is about to get exposed. She's there to manage some sort of narrative construction. She's going to be advising the local cops what to seal off, what to redact, what to not say. Not redact, that's the wrong word. Like, what are you going to log? What are you going to not? Let's identify who these protected people are, in my opinion, is why Ashley's there. Ashley's there to confirm and identify who the protected people are and coordinate a legal strategy to continue to maintain the protected status and not let it get out. Okay. The coroner should absolutely be there before the forensics. I agree with that comment that just flew by. You got Hurwitz involved, cybercrime, corruption, organized crime, RICO style cases. Ashley's there to confirm the protected people. Hurwitz gets called in to manage the fallout. And so I don't understand what people are arguing about, like if a prosecutor's there or not. I'm saying the timing that she's there, it's not talked about. Brett Payne's not wearing a body cam. Everything's sealed and redacted. There's no knife sheath that looks legitimate. Brian Koberger has no connection to the victims, no stalking them. Like, you guys do realize that I'm not just talking about a single aspect of a damn prosecutor being on the scene. I'm aware. Holy shit. It's all of it. It's all of it. Koberger's interviews, they're confirmed on file, but they don't exist. They're never going to be released. There's no motive. We've never seen pictures of the bodies. Donald Trump's talking about it. The 911 call makes no sense. So can we stop talking about just these granular little things? Can we start looking at everything that is culminating underneath the umbrella of this? None of this is natural. Think about the list and how big this list is, guys. This list is huge. The crime scene doesn't match what the autopsies say. Witnesses are left alive. Wait 8 hours. 911 calls for an unconscious person. Trace DNA on the sheath. They're dripping out as slow as they can all of the info. So, for God's sakes, we know that prosecutors will go to the damn crime scene. But when you add everything else into this, before the coroner, it's just, come on. It's just, yeah. Dude, I saw a comment today on my TikTok under one of my videos. I'm going to read it. I actually debate. I don't have it on the screen, not for any other reason, just that I didn't have time to make slides for it. And so this person says, all right, I'm just going to say this, guys. This is the first time that I've ever heard this angle. Nobody get their panties in a bunch. All right. It's going to have to do with the Biden family. I don't know what this person, their politic thing is. I would like to think that many people can just listen to this and think through it. Okay. Here's a comment. It's left under my TikTok. I'm reading it. This person says it's all fake to cover up the fact Biden's law office bought the online school using the Idaho University system. However, they said the dean, maybe they mean the president, does not have a PhD, but he was working for Biden. The school questioned him and where the money went. He was to testify Monday, the 14th, or whatever that is. Yeah, the 14th. To answer for where the money went. The kids were killed and all that happened the day before. Very similar to, and this person references 9/11 with money going missing and the Pentagon getting hit exactly like that. Pentagon was supposed to testify where the trillions went. Building 7 fell with all the evidence in it. It's also kind of like school pew-pewings just before a vote on a school pew-pewing bill. It's making people think emotionally. Never have I heard that angle before. It's a TikTok comment that's as granular as they go. I just wanted to read that because I don't know what the hell's going on. If this is a normal case, so much other shit would have happened before we've gotten to the point where we are now. It's like we can't, like, at what point do we ignore the granular rabbit holes? Do you know what I mean? At what point do we ignore these tiny little rabbit holes based on technicalities that people will then argue over? it's like you can't generalize and ignore the granular things, but you also can't go granular as hell on already the most granular of circumstances. In my opinion, if you're not thinking at the highest levels, at least at some point, and this is what's kind of been changing in my own brain as we've done this. Theory after theory after theory after theory. In an odd way, all of those theories still fall under this umbrella of how do they get away with it? How are the strings pulled? I understand there are powerful people, billionaires, alumni, all of those things. There is literally the word national security involved. There are references to protecting people named or not named in this case. Josh Hurwitz is involved. Ashley Jennings at the crime scene within hours for a 911 call that was about an unconscious person, and this ended up being a lone wolf killer after they waited 4 days to have a press conference. It really, in a way, doesn't matter the lens you want to look down if you can't accept that ultimately, above all of it, whatever happened is being protected by something so much bigger than just a college campus. Okay? More than even a state level. There has to be this ability to at least accept that in some regard. A cover up because of power and influence or local politics or whatever it is absolutely happens. I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that it doesn't. But what I am saying is that the mile-long list of nothing that makes sense to anybody in any regard, and we still can't start to maybe talk about the fact of, I wonder if we get to the bottom of this from starting from the top down then. This is relevant because of the TikTok that I did read. Has anybody looked into, like, is that what happened with Biden and that law office or whatever it is? Did they buy it? Maybe it's not even that. Can anybody look to go see, did the dean have to testify on Monday about where the money went? Has anybody actually looked at that? As Bourbon Santa has said, if it's national security, it's got to be something crossing the border. Nikki Loves, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, likewise, Bush said, lie to me once, shame on you, lie to me. Oh, you know the thing. Let's catch the Idaho. Love you, Birdie. Well, thank you, Nikki. I love you and I love the Hive. And it's like, fool me once, can't get fooled again. Fool me twice. Whatever he says. It's what's that song that uses that as the intro? So what I'm trying to say though, was there some sort of testimony that was supposed to happen that Monday with the university? That's what I want to know. And you know what? The other thing, guys, is there's also something that's absolutely mind-boggling about this. I mean, this case perfectly sums up society, in my opinion. I think we live in a society with two different realities based on what you consume. The people that buy this creepy loner, roommates frozen in shock, quick arrest with perfect evidence, the media floods it to emotionally satisfy you, and that redactions are normal procedures. And then there's people like us that actually go through it. How many people do you think could even tell you who Josh Hurwitz is? Like I'm going to put a challenge out to people. If you're ever having a conversation with somebody about the Idaho 4 and they look at you and they tell you that you're crazy, just stop and say, I have one question. Who is Josh Hurwitz and what is his relationship to the Idaho 4? Don't let them pull their phone out. Tell me what they say. So, look, guys, I'm sorry for getting pissed. Okay. I got a lot going on right now, and it's not to say that I'm not, passionate about this. Typically, I am. But I just can't stand when I am trying to either socialize things, re-explain it for people. Like, newsflash, not everybody's up to the same speed that we all are. And also another newsflash, it helps when you bring people up to speed. And people that are new, you make them feel like they can follow it. Maybe that person's the person that connects all the dots. Yes, they can go back and they can watch other videos, but if they're live right now in this time, let them ask. Explain more about Mowich. Explain more about the guy with broken feet. Wait, what car accident? National Security, FBI, whatever it is. It took 10 minutes to go over that. That's it. And, all right. Calm down. I'm going to actually dig into this whole alleged hearing on that Monday. If this event did happen the day right before anything, I would encourage people in the Hive to also look into that. The other thing is why, in my opinion, one of the most important things that we still do not know yet. Why did Bethany fight her subpoena to come back and testify? That's what I want to know. If nothing else, why is Blaker talking about Dylan's timeline's better? Again, before he allegedly even talked to Dylan, according to documents, And why did Bethany fight a subpoena to come back and testify against this alleged lone wolf killer being Brian Koberger? That's what I want to know. And with that, Hive, I hope everybody has a great rest of the weekend. I know it's a little bit shorter of a stream. My mother-in-law's in town, so I'm going to go hang out with my wife and her. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. Cheers, everybody.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.